right?
That's right.
Our broccoli cheese soup. Let's read that recipe. You will need 3 1/2 cups water, 1 2/3 cup raw carrots chopped, 1 1/2 cup raw potatoes chopped, 1 cup onion cut in chunks, 1/2 cup raw cashews, 1 3/4 teaspoon salt, and 4 cups fresh broccoli chopped.
Okay, Jill, this next recipe is going to be a broccoli cheese soup.
Ooh, I love soup, so I'm excited.
Yeah, it's nice and creamy, and the nice thing about this, too, is that it really doesn't have the cheese in it.
Yes.
So it's a low-fat, healthy version, and it's got a pretty color to it.
Yes, and you can freely eat of this, too.
There you go, freely eat.
Yes.
And so in the recipe, as it says, we started out with some chopped potatoes and carrots, and so we're just going to put that right into our water.
We already got our water heating up here.
Our water's heating. There's the potatoes and the carrots and our onions. And then the idea is that these are going to cook, and it takes about, depending on how small they're cut, but between 10 and 20 minutes.
Okay.
You just cover it and let them cook.
That's easy. I like that.
And then here we have them already cooked.
Okay.
We're just going to blend up half a recipe.
Yes.
And so
this would be half of what we just put in there. Is
that's
that right? Okay,
yeah.
got
And so in the blender, we're going to put our cashews and our salt.
Now, do you have to rinse your cashews? Some people say you're supposed to rinse them. Is that true, JoAnn?
And some people prefer to do that.
Okay.
So
and why would you do that?
Apparently, they have dirt on them during their harvesting, and so that's what's recommended is to rinse them off.
Do you have to do that with all nuts or just cashews?
I think,
or what's the...
Well, I've only heard about it with cashews.
Okay. So they're the dirtiest or whatever you could say. Okay.
What they say.
Okay.
And so now the thing about blending is that you really want this to be creamy smooth.
Yes.
And so you're only going to put, you put roughly about as much solid and wet ingredients in at the same time.
Oh,
that
makes sense.
We'll just put in part of this, and we'll get because the main thing here that we're blending and want to get really smooth is the cashews.
Right. If the carrots and potatoes are already cooked, it's not like they're going to take a lot of work.
No, they'll blend up real fast, but this is what we want to get blended up smooth.
Okay. Turning a nice color.
Yeah, it is starting to turn orange, and the more carrots, see, there's still quite a few carrots in here.
Yes.
And so we could even just go ahead and add it all. We could, since this is only half a recipe, we can get it all in the blender. Maybe I'll just take that off, and so I don't.
There we go. If I can get it off, there you go. It smells good. I can smell the onions and the carrots, and it smells really good.
There we go.
There we go.
Put the lid on and.
Yeah, we don't want that. Okay, I think it's on there.
Okay, and we'll just stop there, and you can show them what it's going to look like after it's blended.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it really turns a pretty color.
And it's real creamy looking, too. I like that.
And that's the thing, is you want creamy smooth. Yes. I just can't stress enough the importance to blend, and maybe for 2 minutes.
Okay.
In some blenders, it's going to take a good 2 minutes to get it creamy smooth.
Mine
that's
might
what
take
you
5.
Want. You don't want chunky soup. Now we have the broccoli.
Yes.
You can use frozen broccoli if you want to use like a pound of frozen broccoli.
Okay.
But if you use the fresh broccoli and steam it for like 8 to 10 minutes, then you have a really pretty color.
Oh,
and it's just tender, crisp.
Yes.
And
then
it's
not all. If it gets too cooked, then it like falls apart.
Yeah, it gets a little bit mushy, and the color's not as pretty. But so you just mix your base and your broccoli, and you've got a nice soup.
Oh, yeah.
You could serve this as a soup, but you could also serve it over a baked potato.
Ooh, that sounds good.
You can put it over pasta. And so it's got a lot of variety.
It's versatile.
Yeah.
Got a lot of different options you can use it with. Yeah. And we'll show you guys at home. We'll show you what it looks like when we put it together at the end of the program.
There you go.
Yeah. Now tell me, JoAnn, about your dad. He's had some health problems.
Yeah. Yeah, I just mentioned to you real briefly about my dad. And what had happened was that when he was 59, he was out in his woods, and he was walking up a hill, and he started having chest pain.
Oh.
And he, it was painful for that day, but then he did it another day, And this time he really it was quite a struggle for him to get up the hill and to get home. And he said he just came home and he laid on the floor. And, and so then, you know, I was glad that he decided to go to see the doctor and get things checked out. And they found that his cholesterol was like over 300. And he took a stress test, and he failed his stress test.
Can I ask you to interrupt just a second? What's normal cholesterol for friends at home?
Normal is like around 100 plus your age.
Ooh.
So his was...
So his should have been 159.
Yeah, about double his was.
Wow, okay.
And, yeah, and so then they did a heart catheterization. They found that he had 5 arteries that were, 2 that were 60% closed, 1 that was 80% closed, and 2 that were 95% closed. And they said, you know, you need to come and see us right now for surgery.
That is serious.
And you know what my dad said?
What?
I'm kind of busy right now. I'm building a house.
Are you serious? That's amazing. Because, I mean, he could die. I mean, literally.
Yeah, he could have.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could have.
Okay.
So, I mean, it wasn't funny. But,
yeah.
But he said, and I was really proud of him. I was thankful. He says, I think I'm going to do what my daughter said I should do.
Oh.
It's probably the first time he ever did something I said he should do. But he started, he and my mom was helping him, and he started a good aerobic exercise program gradually.
Good.
And he started eating lower fat, vegetarian foods, and now he's 84. He's a hardworking man. He hasn't had chest pain for years and years. He was only on medication just for a few months while he was getting his changes made.
Adjusted.
And, you know, I'm very thankful. I feel like the Lord has preserved his life. The broccoli cheese soup, and it's the cheese is actually a base from cashews and carrots and potato and onion.